Have you ever woken up and noticed a few strands of hair on your pillow or on your nightgown, even scattered on your bedsheet without knowing why? Many women think shedding hair in the morning is normal, but the truth is, and this surprises many people, nearly 40% of daily hair loss happens while you're asleep, not because of age, not because of sleep itself, but because of your nighttime hair routine, the habits you've repeated for years. They don't damage your hair immediately, but they silently pull hair from the follicles, making your hair thinner night after night. Just going to bed with slightly damp hair, just using the wrong pillowcase, or just tying your hair a little too tightly is enough to weaken the follicles during the 6-8 hours you're lying down. And the most important part is, most women don't even realize this. I've met so many clients in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds who say, "I'm just sleeping, how could my hair be falling out this much?" But when I review their nighttime routine, the answer is always the same. They are unintentionally doing exactly the things that cause the most nighttime hair loss. And here's the good news. Just one small change tonight can save hundreds of strands of hair every week. If you've ever woken up and seen hair on your pillow, watch until the end because I'll help you stop that starting tonight. I'm Dr. Evelyn Brooks, a dermatologist with over 15 years of experience working with women in their 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and 70 seconds, especially those dealing with thinning hair, weak hair, and increased shedding after menopause. Throughout my years of practice, I've heard countless stories that sound exactly alike. Women take great care of their hair, good shampoo, proper conditioning, but every morning they still see more hair on their pillow than the day before. And they always ask themselves, is it because I'm aging and there's nothing that can save my hair anymore? I want you to know something I always tell my patients, something many women feel relieved to hear. Nighttime hair loss is not fate. And it's not a sign that you're aging too quickly. When I review their nighttime routines, I see something very clear. More than 70% of women after 60 are making at least one mistake in their nighttime hair routine. And it's these tiny habits, sometimes just a few minutes long, that weaken the follicles and cause significant shedding during sleep. The most important thing is, these mistakes are completely fixable, and the results come faster than you think. Today, I want to share with you all the knowledge I've gathered from thousands of cases to help you stop nighttime hair loss and protect your hair throughout the 6-8 hours you sleep every day. Just one small change can create a huge difference for your hair. I know nighttime hair loss isn't just about hair. It affects your emotions, your confidence, and sometimes makes women feel like they're losing a part of themselves. Many women have told me that every morning when they see hair on their pillow, they feel their hearts sink. Some say that their widening hair part makes them avoid mirrors. Others confess they feel older overnight. Those feelings worry, sadness, loss of confidence. I've heard them many times, from women in California, Florida, Texas, all the way to New York. And if you're experiencing that too, I want you to know, you are not alone. What I admire most about women at this age is their strength. Even when their hair is shedding, even when they feel discouraged, they still keep searching, still want to take care of themselves, still want to understand what is happening to their bodies. And what you're doing right now, watching this video, already shows that strength. And to help me understand who is on the other side of the screen, I want to ask you something small. How old are you? Which state in the U.S. are you watching from? You can leave a simple comment like, "I'm 67, Texas," or "I'm 72, California." I read every single one. Not a single comment gets missed. Please share your age and the state you're living in below, because it helps me create videos that are more tailored to you and the women just like you. Thank you for sharing, it means more than you think. To understand why hair falls out so much while you sleep, we need to look at the completely natural but silent changes happening in the body after age 60. When you enter the postmenopausal stage, estrogen levels drop significantly. This is the hormone that protected your hair for decades, helping your scalp maintain moisture, keeping follicles strong, and helping hair anchor more firmly. When estrogen decreases, the scalp becomes drier, more sensitive, and gradually loses the natural oils that protect each strand from friction. Not only that, your hair itself changes. Grey hair becomes more common. And grey hair, quite literally, is a weaker type of hair. Grey hair lacks melanin, lacks elasticity, and is 3 times more likely to break than young hair. It reacts more strongly to even the slightest pulling force and is easily damaged from rubbing against the pillow all night. Another factor few people think about is nighttime blood circulation. When the body switches into rest mode, the amount of blood flowing to the scalp decreases. That means hair follicles are weaker at night than during the day, and even a bit of friction, pressure, or pulling can loosen them. Now, combine all of these factors. Follicles are weaker because hormones have decreased. The scalp is drier and more easily irritated. Grey hair is thin, brittle, and easily broken. Blood flow to the follicles drops during sleep, and then you rest your head on a moisture-absorbing cotton pillowcase, or accidentally tie your hair a bit too tight, or go to bed with tangled hair and turn back and forth all night, or sleep with damp hair. All these small things create a constant friction force that pulls on the strands for 6-8 hours straight. And because the follicles are at their weakest during that time, the hair is easily pulled out without you feeling or hearing anything. That's why so many women tell me, I never see hair falling during the day. But in the morning, it's all over my pillow. Nighttime hair fall is not a mystery. It is the combination of biology, time, and nighttime habits that no longer match your hair's current condition. Right after this, I will show you the 5 nighttime mistakes that cause the most hair loss mistakes nearly all women over 60 repeat unconsciously. One of the habits that seems harmless but causes the most hair loss in women over 60 is going to bed with damp or wet hair. I know many women like to air dry their hair. Some are afraid of blow dryers, afraid of heat damage, or simply feel tired, I'll deal with it tomorrow. But I want you to picture this. When hair is wet, it is 3 times weaker than when it is fully dry. The cuticle layer opens when the hair is wet, removing its natural protection. At this moment, any friction from the pillow, from sleeping on your side, or from turning over at night is enough to break the strand or pull it out of the follicle. Imagine a thread that has been soaked in water. It's softer, easier to stretch, and breaks more easily. Your hair, when wet, is in that same fragile state. I once had a patient named Linda, 67. For years, she always let her hair air dry and went straight to bed after an evening shower. She had no idea that every night, her damp hair was being pressed, rubbed, stretched, and slowly, the shedding became so severe she feared something was medically wrong. When I suggested she lightly blow-dry her hair to about 70–80% dry before bed, she gave it a try, and what happened surprised even her. After 3 weeks, the amount of hair on her pillow each morning dropped by nearly half, not because of serum, not because of expensive products, simply because she stopped going to bed with damp hair. If tonight you still go to bed with slightly wet hair, just remember that for 6–8 hours, your hair is exposed to forces it is not strong enough to withstand. This small change is gentle, but the results are far greater than you think. A very common mistake that women over 60 often make unknowingly is tying their hair too tightly at night. Many do this because they think, tie it up so it stays neat, less messy, less hot. Some tie it high because they're afraid of waking up with frizzy hair. Others have tied their hair their whole lives and feel uncomfortable sleeping without doing so. But what most people don't know is this. Tying your hair tightly while you sleep creates a constant tension on each strand for 6–8 hours. And this silent pulling force is what weakens the follicles the fastest. When hair is tied high or tightly, the follicles are pulled in one direction. The tension isn't released while you sleep. Every time you turn over, the tension increases. The result is hair being pulled out of the follicles without you noticing. This is especially harmful for women after 60 because the hair is thinner, grey hair is more brittle, and follicles are more sensitive to pulling forces. The areas that thin the fastest from tight hair tying, the temples, the crown, and the hairline, the very areas many women say, why is it getting thinner and thinner here? I remember a patient named Marianne, 70, living in Florida. She always tied her hair up high every night to stay cooler. After a few years, the hair at her temples became so thin that she thought it was just a sign of aging. But simply switching to a loose low tie or letting her hair down combined with gentle hair care, after just 2 months, that area began to recover. Sometimes, your hair doesn't need any complicated treatment. It just needs to be released and allowed to breathe while you sleep. If you still tend to tie your hair too tightly at night, try switching to a loose, low tie or letting your hair down naturally if the length allows. This is one of the simplest changes, yet it brings some of the clearest results. A silent mistake that causes more damage than you think is sleeping on a cotton pillowcase. Cotton is familiar, soft, and very absorbent, and because it absorbs so well, it unintentionally pulls away your hair's natural moisture while you sleep. When hair loses moisture, it becomes drier, more brittle, and easier to break, especially grey hair and fine hair in women over 60. Not only that, cotton has a high friction surface. When you turn in your sleep, every movement of your head rubbing against a cotton pillowcase is like dragging a strand of hair across a rough surface repeatedly throughout the night. If your hair is already weak, this friction is enough to snap hair in the middle, cause tangles, or worse, pull hair directly out of the follicle. Many women don't realize the cause because they don't feel any pulling force while asleep, but every morning they see hair on the pillow and assume it's normal. I once treated a patient named Susan, 74, from Illinois. She said her hair fell out a lot at night, even though she didn't tie it tightly and never slept with wet hair. When I asked what pillowcase she used, she answered, "Cotton. I've used it since I was young." After she switched to a satin or silk pillowcase, her morning hair fall dropped by 60% in just 2 weeks. No expensive products, no complicated treatments, just a pillowcase change. Satin and silk have smooth, low-friction surfaces, allowing hair to glide instead of being tugged. They don't strip moisture from the hair, keeping it softer, less tangled, and far less prone to breakage. If you're still using cotton pillowcases, this is one of the simplest but most effective changes you can make tonight. If you realize you're making one of the first 3 mistakes, tap like or leave a heart, so I know this content is truly helping you. A habit that seems simple but greatly increases your hair fall is skipping a gentle brush before bed. Many women think, I can just brush it in the morning, or my hair is short, so I probably don't need to brush it. But in reality, whether your hair is long or short, straight or curly, it always gets slightly tangled after a full day of movement rubbing against clothing, scarves, or car headrests. When you don't detangle before bed, those tiny knots become catch points. And when you turn in your sleep, every movement of your head on the pillow pulls on those knots, causing the strands to snap from sudden tension, get pulled out of the follicle, or break in the middle of the shaft. Many women don't hear it, don't feel it, but wake up to more hair on the pillow without understanding why. I remember a patient named Karen, 71, from Arizona. She said every morning she saw hair on her pillow even though she didn't shed much during the day. When I reviewed her nighttime routine, I discovered she often went to bed without brushing her hair. She said, "At my age, I just thought brushing or not brushing didn't make a difference." After she started spending 20-30 seconds gently brushing her hair each night, just 2 weeks later she told me, "I never expected something so small to reduce hair fall this quickly." You don't need to brush thoroughly or style your hair. Just a few gentle strokes, from mid-shaft to the ends, using a wide-tooth comb or soft wooden brush, is enough to remove tangles, reduce friction, protect your hair while you sleep, and help your hair glide smoothly on the pillow. One small step, but it creates a very big difference during the 6-8 hours you sleep. One of the most important yet most overlooked habits among women after 60 is not moisturizing the scalp before going to bed. Many women take excellent care of their facial skin using serums, moisturizers, but forget that the scalp is also skin, and it also needs nourishment for the hair follicles to stay strong. After age 60, the oil glands become less active, making the scalp drier, tighter, more easily irritated, and prone to slight flaking when touched. When the scalp is dry, the follicles weaken, and when the follicles weaken, hair fall increases significantly, especially while you sleep, because during that time the scalp no longer has its natural protective oil layer against friction. Skipping scalp moisture causes hair to break easily, shed easily, struggle to grow back, and look thinner over time. I always tell my patients, healthy hair begins with a healthy scalp. I remember a patient named Michelle, 68, living in Oregon. She complained that the older she got, the thinner her hair became, even though she ate well and used high-quality shampoos. But when I examined her scalp, it was so dry it had nearly lost all elasticity. I guided her to do just one very simple thing. Every night, apply 1-2 drops of a light serum to the scalp and massage for 30-60 seconds before sleeping. You don't need much. You don't need to apply it all over your head. Just focus on the areas that shed easily, the temples, the part line, and the crown. And after 4 weeks, she told me, I didn't realize my scalp needed moisture this much, but clearly my hair fall has decreased. Those tiny drops of serum create a protective layer throughout the night, helping the follicles stay hydrated, stay nourished, reduce mild inflammation, and anchor more firmly. You don't need an expensive product, just a gentle, lightweight serum, non-greasy, with no heavy fragrance, is enough to protect your hair during the 6-8 hours you sleep. This is the final step in your nighttime routine. But it is the step that helps your hair recover the fastest. After you understand the 5 mistakes that cause severe nighttime hair fall, I want to share with you a simple but extremely effective nighttime routine. This routine doesn't take much time, doesn't require expensive products, and is suitable for women from ages 55 to 85. Many of my patients have followed it and saw noticeable improvements within just 10-14 days. Less breakage, less tangling, and no more waking up to hair all over the pillow or nightgown. Below is the most optimal routine you can start tonight. Step 1. Let your hair dry 80-90% before bed. Your hair doesn't need to be completely dry, but never go to sleep with wet hair. You can blow dry with low heat or cool air. Damp hair is at its weakest and breaks most easily from pillow friction. Step 2. Gently detangle for 20-30 seconds. Use a wide-tooth comb or a soft wooden brush. Brush from mid-length to the ends to remove tangles, reduce friction, and help the hair glide smoothly while you sleep. Do not brush aggressively at the roots. Step 3. Apply 1-2 drops of scalp serum. Just a small amount is enough. Focus on areas prone to shedding, temples, part line, crown. Massage gently for 30-60 seconds to increase blood flow and moisturize the follicles. Step 4. Tie your hair loosely or leave it down. Long hair. Choose a low, loose twist. Low, soft, not tight. Short or fine hair. Leave it natural. Avoid any pulling force on the follicles during sleep. Step 5. Use a satin or silk pillowcase. This step creates the fastest results, reduces friction, retains moisture better, reduces breakage when you turn over. Many women notice softer hair in just 1-2 nights. Step 6. Keep the bedroom adequately humid. Air that's too dry dehydrates the hair. If you use air conditioning or live in a cold climate, a small humidifier helps keep the hair and scalp softer. Step 7. Do not sleep with your hair trapped under your body. Many women unknowingly lie on their hair. Gently pull your hair out from under you before lying down to avoid prolonged pulling throughout the night. This routine is simple but designed according to how the hair functions while you sleep. If you follow it consistently, after just 1-2 weeks, you will notice less shedding, softer hair, fewer tangles, and fuller-looking hair in the mirror. 7-day plan. Simple, easy, fast results. Many women ages 60-80 follow this plan and see results within 1 week. Day 1, switch to a satin, silk pillowcase. A small change that reduces breakage from the very first night. Day 2, massage the scalp for 1 minute. Just 30-60 seconds with your fingertips to increase nighttime circulation. Day 3, apply 1-2 drops of serum. Focus on shedding-prone areas. Temples, crown, part line. Day 4, gently detangle for 20-30 seconds. Use a wide tooth comb or soft wooden brush to remove knots and reduce friction. Day 5. Ensure hair is 80-90% dry. Do not sleep with wet hair. Damp hair breaks many times more easily. Day 6. Maintain room humidity. A humidifier helps the hair retain moisture and reduces dryness. Day 7. Combine everything. This is the day you will feel the clearest changes. Softer hair, less tangling, easier to brush, and especially, noticeably less shedding upon waking at time. Many women describe it as if their hair suddenly stopped falling, but in reality, it's the cumulative effect of the 6 days before. Many women after 60 have shared with me that their biggest sadness isn't just the hair loss, but the feeling that they're losing a familiar part of themselves. Every morning when they see hair on the pillow, they worry, can my hair ever become thick again? Am I aging too fast? But I want you to truly believe this. Your hair follicles still have the ability to recover. Your scalp can regenerate. And your hair can become stronger day by day simply through small changes in your nighttime routine. I've watched many women in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds regain thicker, softer, healthier hair just from simple adjustments. It is never too late. Your body still wants to heal, it just needs the right support. If today you're feeling worried about your hair loss, please be gentle with yourself. You are not walking this journey alone, and you deserve to wake up with confidence, relief, and a little more love for your hair each day. If the guidance in this video helped you understand why hair falls out so much during sleep and how to protect your hair better, you can gently tap like so. I know this content is helpful. I would also love to hear from you. Among the 5 nighttime mistakes, which one do you think you make the most? Leave a short comment, I read them all. If you have friends who are also hurt or discouraged by hair loss, you can share this video with them. Who knows, one small change tonight may help them wake up with stronger hair tomorrow. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. I look forward to seeing you again on this journey of caring for your hair and your body after 60 gently, scientifically, and full of hope.